Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. Shane Mostyn here, Saturday morning, 6:03, even though Scott Baker said like a good hour ago that I was running late. I'm 3 minutes late. Because I was just talking. That's what I do with when I bring guests on. We just have a chat and then we start talking and carry on. And before you know it, we're late. Morning, Greg. Morning, Scott. Hope you're doing well, dudes. Today I've what's the weather like today? I haven't really been outside besides to get firewood because it's bloody cold here now. It's probably 7 degrees here this morning. We're not into winter, obviously, but it's coming. I like this time of year. The weather is generally pretty consistent. As I was just talking to my guest before, that this Milky Way season so far has been. I wait for the moon cycle to move away before I can go out and shoot some video. And as the moon goes, it kind of has a vacuum effect with clouds and it brings the clouds in. And it's just, it's the life of an astrophotographer. Morning, Kathy. I'm going to say that wrong. Kotovsky. That might be right. Kotovsky. Ralph Mayhew. You're even commenting in the comments. Multi-skilled. Mike Goyne, how you doing, dude? Anyway, today I'm going to bring someone on. I'm going to show you some stuff here that some manufacturers have sent to me to do reviews on. I'm currently in the process of testing these things out and just trying them for myself, like I do with all the gear that people send me. And in the next week or so, you'll see some videos. Today, Kotovsky, right? Done deal. Did you know that you say if you say rise up lights, you should. I need to put these comments on the screen so that when people just see me looking over like this, you know what the hell I'm doing. Did you know if you say rise up lights, you sound like an Australian saying razor blades? Rise up lights. I don't get that. And from memory, you just sound funny when you talk anyway, Mike. No, I don't get that. We'll see if my guest can make sense of it. Morning, Ralph. How you doing, dude?
Hey, Shane. I'm good, man. How are you?
Excellent. Very, very good. Do you know what that means?
Is Mike from Canada or from the UK?
No. From memory, he's from I want to say Dakota or something.
I feel
I
like
might be wrong.
Well.
And I feel
maybe
if
over there, they say
maybe
rise up lights. Maybe over there when they say rise up lights, it sounds like razor blades.
Yeah,
or maybe we just sound bizarre to the rest of the world, but normal to ourselves.
Yeah. No, we sound perfectly normal. It's them that have the accents.
Well, absolutely.
It's my show, goddammit. Mike came on here, I reckon probably 6 months ago, I suppose. I don't know if you've seen his stuff on the Bloody Legends Facebook group, but he's a gun photographer.
Keeps
very,
getting
very
better.
good.
I look at it, I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, again, Mike, I gotta lift my game.
Yeah. I get up in the morning and I look at the Facebook group and I go, some bitch, geez, he's taking some cracker shots, and I look outside, it's just cloudy. You bastard.
Yeah.
How's the weather on the Goldie?
It sounds the same. We had actually last night, we went out, took some Astro shots, which was the first time, I reckon, this Astro season. That's how bad it's been. Because every moon cycle, it's just cloudy. And not talking about like a bit of wispy cloud, like overcast, can't see the stars.
Yeah.
So it was good last night, but again, we got maybe half an hour in before the cloud came in, so it was good. But
okay. Yeah. So where did you go?
I went to Rumman Rock because you can only shoot east from where we are. And the problem with shooting east with the Milky Way is you have to go like 2 hours inland to where it's pitch black. So we shoot out to sea, and Rumman Rock creates a nice foreground. That's interesting.
Yep. What's the light pollution like there, though?
Oh, it's terrible, but you're sort of fighting it the whole time, especially in post.
Yeah.
And the high tide was up, and the waves were massive. So a couple of times I thought I was going to die. But
did you shoot video, or you just went out there to actually just take some photos?
Nah, just take some photos. It was such a rare thing to see the night sky. I completely lost any sense of logic and just went out with a camera.
It's a funny thing, like almost since the start of the YouTube channel, every time I go out to photograph, it's almost always either a paid job for like wedding or corporate stuff, or it's for YouTube. I can't think of the last time that I went out there and took photos just for the sake of taking photos.
For the sake of
Yeah.
I feel a bit when I go and do that. I feel a bit naked. Like when it's just
Yep.
going out for a photo shoot to enjoy it. I'm like, oh, should I be doing something else, or
Yeah.
I've forgotten something? Oh,
Take a photo, then turn around to a camera that's not there and go, yeah, how good was that? It's no one's there.
That's right.
Shit, the things that sometimes I think to myself, I should probably put and I think this sort of thing all the bloody time. It's just that I run out of time. In fact, I should probably do it just for the members on the channel. Is just put up a camera off in the distance, watching what I'm doing.
Yeah, I've thought about saying that.
Because it'd be a piss take. The amount of times that I stuff up that you just don't see in the videos, it's pretty funny.
It's funny how you have this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you end up with this 3-minute video that you're like, that's all right, and the 40 minutes of stuffing up and stuffing around and stuff not working. You're like, it just does this. Yep. Oh no, why aren't you doing this? Yeah.
I did the latest video that when did it go live? I think it went live this morning actually. Was the first in a series of sponsored videos for Skillshare. Well, they sponsored.
Yeah, that's right. You got that. That's awesome, man. Congrats.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it was almost. I remember watching. Do you know Jake Fruit? Have you
yeah,
watched Jake Fruit?
Yeah.
Yep. And the very first time that he
got sponsored by Squarespace.
Yeah, and he's got like the opening scene is like, I've been waiting to say this.
yeah. I remember that scene. How crazy is that?
Yeah, and I nearly did it. I nearly did it. Well, the first one's gone now.
If it ever happens to me, I'm definitely saying it.
Yeah. Even in the very opening part of that video, when I've gone, this video is sponsored by Skillshare, and you don't have to say that. No, that's not something that you have to say. It's part of the deal.
Yeah.
Like the deal is like it's a 45-second clip in it, and it's actually pretty cool. Like they say, "Oh, g'day, look at this. He's just loving being around YouTube people at the moment." David Addison in his house. I won't say in the house. It's in his house. They give you some stipulation around like the things that they need you to say. Like, and they're not things like I need you to say positive or negative stuff. It's nothing like that. It's more around what the platform is, and don't call people who join this or call them this instead. It's just a language thing.
Well, that's cool. So it gives you heaps of freedom for you to bring it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And they also gave me 3 months of Skillshare, and mate, I've been binging content. It's I did I don't know if I told you, I probably did tell you that I did a YouTube training thing with Casey Neistat ran it.
Yes, yeah.
And it cost me like $400 or something, maybe $500. It cost
a fair bit. Moment one? Yeah.
No, it wasn't Moment. It was.
He teamed up with someone, didn't he? Like to do it, like a company.
It is a. Oh, sorry, it's not Moment Lenses. It could be Moment Training, actually.
Yeah, I think it's not lenses. Yeah.
When you say Moment, I'm thinking phone lenses. Yeah, I think you are right. Moment Training. Anyway, I did that, and the downside of it was that I spent all this money and I had absolutely zero interaction with the person who was selling it. You did this course, they did the training stuff, and you submitted your projects, and the only people who actually looked at your projects were other students. So you're kind of like, well, if everyone's wrong,
yeah. Oh wow, that's so disappointing. Yeah.
Well, I was. It was interesting. I could have watched 3 or 4 how-to YouTube videos and got the same result. Really,
I wondered that. Like when I saw it, I thought it looks cool, but I wonder if it's just
Yeah. So when I did when I got the Skillshare thing, I went and did one for thumbnails, because my thumbnails, in my opinion, just suck. I don't like
mine
them.
Are worse. But
well, that's why we have that group, isn't it?
That's right.
and if David Addison was still actually creating YouTube videos,
it's just a matter of time. Surely we must be hungry
to that group.
Yeah, we would,
and we could talk about YouTube thumbnails. But anyway, he's over there, just sitting on the edge, going, "I want to come back."
He's
want to come
dabbling with
back.
Instagram as
I
well.
want to
He's
come
like,
back.
oh,
Yeah, I see
okay.
that. He's got the itch. I better get him on the show so we can announce his return to YouTube.
Yes, that's great. And even if he's not returning, you could announce it, and then he has to. That's it.
That's what we're doing, David. 2 weeks, you're here.
Is David still on? He's just like, oh, bugger this, I'm going.
He's like, fuck this, I'm out of here. But I did, yeah. So you know, Marquez Brownlee, the MKBHD.
Everyone
Yeah,
knows him, I hope.
Yep, he's got a course on Skillshare, and it was
Wow.
it was virtually the same as what I just paid all that money for Casey's one.
Yeah,
and I got probably more out of it watching
yeah,
that one on Skillshare. And when you look at the pricing of the two, you kind of go, well, why would you go and spend all that money when you can spend like, I think it's like $10 a month or something for Skillshare.
wow.
You pay for a year, but you can do whatever course you bloody well want to. That's on there. And it's thousands.
As much as you like, right? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go. Look at this. He's writing his return script now.
Come on. How good's that? We're stoked, David. We're stoked.
Yeah, I'll be stoked. Yeah, so that was the only stipulation that they put in it, and it was the moment in my YouTube journey, if you like, where I've kind of gone, hey, I think I made it, because someone wants to actually give me money to say shit.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. It has nothing to do with that particular video. That's when you know you've made it.
Yeah, it's what I found was interesting though. Where is all that? I must have. Is that that video? It's absolutely well and truly in my niche, and it's actually I think it's a really good. You know, when you make a video, you go, "That's all right," you know. It's one of those. It's well and truly in the niche. The thumbnail's on point, and it's only ranking like number 7 or something. I'm like, why is that? And I'm not sure if it's because it's a paid promotion in there as well. I don't know. It's my first time or second time doing one of those, so I'm not sure. Anyway, life goes on.
Now you've made it. The algorithm's like, well, we're going to screw you over.
Gotta make it harder for you now. So how's your channel going, dude? I reckon you're at 3.
You're good. 3.5, I think. Just shy of 3.5. It's going good. I think once you get over that 1,000, you're like, all right, hang on. It shifts stuff for you. You like that need to be validated and go, is this worth doing? I think is fulfilled in a sense. And then you have a bit of freedom around it. And then things just tick along and grow. And then you've got I reckon the sub count is just a good reflection for companies that want to sponsor, want to jump on board.
Yeah.
And so I've moved back to one. I think I said this last time. Moved back to one video a week, but trying to make the video better. You know, because you're adding B-roll and other filming and a whole bunch of other stuff that you just normally wouldn't or think of, but all takes more time. But I think the product's better. But still, it's slow going. And you know, as you said before, you make a banger of a video, and the rest of the world never really gets to see it because of whatever happens. And then you make other stuff that, like, I've got one out there. I think it took me 4 minutes to film. It took me 10 minutes to edit. It's just helpful, but it's bloody boring. And it's just gone. People are like, this is great. You're like, oh, serious? Like,
that's right.
And I
remember doing
funny,
a video about the green lights that you see off the iPhone, like the lens reflector of the lens flare that you get. And I get comments on that bloody thing almost every day, and it's got to be a year and a half old, right? And it's not exactly a high performing video. Like, it's performed well, but it's not like up there in the top 10 sort of thing. And they'll ask a question about something specific that I'd said in the video. I'm thinking, what did I say back then? I can't remember. And I'll go back and have a quick look. And when I look at it, I go, man, I can't believe I released that. That's shit. That's so bad. when I was doing I was sitting here in this spot doing that it's probably about a minute long, the Skillshare thing that I did. And you should see the outtakes from that. Holy moly. Because in my head, I'm like, I have to say it like this, but it wasn't quite my natural way of saying, calling something that or calling something that. And I'll be like, blah, 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 blah. And there's a lot of It's crazy.
I can't imagine why they wouldn't want that. Just like
I just
it would
don't
be
get
a
it.
unique take. Yeah.
I really need to, because I'm usually like just cut, bomb, cut, bomb, cut, bomb. I really need to stop doing the bomb bit and like put that into another video,
Yeah, yeah.
just for the members to see, because I've only done, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 videos only for members.
Yeah.
I went to Canberra and shot. It's probably like a 15-minute video or something, but it's a story more than how to photograph something.
Yep, yep.
I'll end up making all of the videos that I do for members only. They stay as members only for a period of time, and after that, I'll just transfer it to everyone. Sort of thing.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Blooper reels, yes, please. That's it.
I always do a bit
Careful
of a
what you
blooper
ask.
reel right in the end of mine. Yeah, but
I reckon David
sometimes
did
you've
that
got
too.
you need the funny bloopers though. Some videos, there's tons of
Yep.
bloopers every video, but some videos it's just like, nah, it's not funny. Like, so I always try and find the one that makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Might bore others, but gives me a chuckle.
Well, that's it's in my car. You know the K&F concept tripod that I've got. It's got all the orange screw.
Yeah. How's that gone?
It's a carbon fiber thing. It goes all right, and
Mixed reviews out there about that stuff.
It's good for a phone, is what I would say. I'm probably going to retouch that tripod again and maybe do a comparison video soon enough. But it's good for a phone because a phone is like ultra light. And this thing is meant to take. It should take like a 5D with a 7200 lens on it. Like it should take a fair bit of weight, but it doesn't.
5
it just
kilos,
doesn't.
Yeah.
I had what did I have on there? It was on my very first outing with my 6400 because I wanted a 2 camera setup. I was trialing with that, and when I was in the field, and it wasn't. It was a breezy day, but it wasn't like a gusty wind day. And I'm sitting here watching. I'm talking to this camera here, and I glanced in the sight in the viewfinder, and I watched the other tripod go.
Oh no!
Wow, and I had that.
That's a review video for you.
Oh, I've deleted the bloody thing now. I was spewing. Because at a while there, because I've before YouTube, I didn't do that much video. And what the thing that has, it shouldn't surprise me because it's bloody obvious that this is going to happen. But the amount of storage that I take now, like the amount of shit that I've got on hard drives and everything everywhere, it's mind blowing how much storage is taken up by this. So I went through a phase there of no, just cut the video the way you want it, and just keep that. Just keep that. Just keep that. Just keep that. And that was during. Did what? Sorry.
Jesse Driftwood did that. He only kept what was the final thing, and all his creator mates went mad at him. They're like, "What are you doing? What if you need that other stuff?" But then going back and finding it too is such a challenge.
Yeah, you'd want to have a really good NAS system or something, and I don't have that. Yeah. I've just got external hard drives. No, maybe
I've got my stash of them just over here.
Yeah, when I was talking about that studio, when the house building stuff happens one day, I may well put a NAS in there then. With I don't know, we'll see how many terabytes I can have sitting over.
1,000 terabytes. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, never delete footage. See, the problem is, oh God, I'd hate to think how many terabytes I've used so far if I kept it all.
Yeah,
it's one of these things that do you keep it all on the off chance that one day you might want that 3 second of footage of that tripod going and me going, do you really want that? Well, it turns out I do.
Yes. See, that's a giant question.
That's right. We need to make some blooper reel moments during this live stream. What are you talking about? We haven't.
This is world class, isn't it? This is just gold. There's always. I was talking to somebody last night. They're like, "What are you doing tomorrow morning?" Because I usually shoot on Saturday mornings. I'm like, "Oh, I remember Shane. I'm going on a channel with him," and the guy that was talking to starts laughing because I tell him all the funny things that go, and he watches it, and it's just. I'm like, it just deteriorates as we converse. It just deteriorates down to this point where we're both laughing and not talking any sense.
Well, this is one of those things that I reckon. Was it Danny Black? Maybe it was Danny. I can't remember who it was. but I was talking to, I'm pretty sure it was Danny, and we're talking about going live and how it hurts your channel because my niche really doesn't suit live. If I was in a position where I could go out somewhere to like somewhere remote and like shoot live content, that would be different, I think. But where I am, if I go like 80 meters that way, I've got no phone signal, so it's just shit. I am thinking about getting that Starlink satellite internet, and if I did that, conceptually, I should be able to like just take that sucker out there and do that. Maybe, I don't know.
That'd be cool. Live from the bush.
Yeah, live from the bush. Patrika, boys and girls, how's it going over in Belgium? So, Reflex, dude, you've done. I've seen you've done 2 videos with Reflex. One was a panning one.
That's
and
right.
One was like a general video.
Sort of walk through the app.
Yeah. Are you still using it? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I love it. So this is my case at the moment. It's the Reflex case. Like, if I turn that round, you can see us looking at us.
I want to see the delay. Hold it up for a minute. I can't see. There you go. Oh, I was drinking coffee ages ago.
Yeah. The delay's about 5 minutes.
Waiting for the hands. Waiting for the hands. Waiting for the hands.
Hey! That's a delay.
I think I did it twice. Hold on. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
There's a delay. There's a big delay.
Gosh. Anyway.
How's this for viewing, folks?
Yeah. You're loving this? So the Reflex case lives on my phone now. I don't use any other case. And I love it too because it protects the lenses when you stick it on the bench, but it's pretty slim and fits well. And then I found, so I did the review and basically took the lenses to different spaces where I thought there are whole reviews around which lens should I buy, because if you're not using those lenses all the time, you don't need all of them, but one of them might be really helpful for the particular thing you're doing. And so they sent me the lenses. I'm making the video, and then it was my daughter got an award at the assembly at school. Okay. And so I went there and I'm like, oh, if I bring the telephoto lens for my phone, and I stuck it on and got real up close without any digital zoom because my wife wasn't there, and then just sent her the photos. I'm like, that's awesome. And it's one of those uses that you're like, oh, I never thought about that until it kind of all came together. And I love the way, like, the quality's great, and the use of them and the range. The wide one, it's not really worth it, but all the others are really good for specific needs. And the macro ones, nuts. Like I cannot get over how much detail both the one that you use for filming and the one that you use for just shooting has. But I just grab them, stick them in my pocket, and you're like, here it is. We're good to go. So
I do
love
find
that
a need for the wide. Like, see, you and I shoot different things, so I look at anytime that I'm shooting what I want to shoot, I'm trying to use that wider aperture on the wide lens. So I will screw in the wide lens to that wide lens to give me a wider field of view, or the fisheye for a wider field of view to do star trails and stuff like that. So to me, it's I do use that. So when I went out and did the video for those lenses, I went, well, I see a need for this. I see a need for this. I don't really see a need for that one, but that's me. Whereas you're using it, so it just makes sense. There's a good. Well, it doesn't have to fit your niche. Get whatever suits your niche. Yeah.
And they're a good company. Like, I like the guys. Oh, here we go.
Someone did a remote live cast. Oh, I see. Yeah, the problem is though that where I go to do this sort of stuff, mind you, I could in theory just do it outside because I get dark enough skies in my backyard. I could just do a live stream from my backyard.
You should try it one night, and it would just be completely black, and your voice from the.
That's right.
So that's the other challenge, right? Like, you can light your face, but lighting anything else when you're outside is such a challenge because the darkness just absorbs, all the ambient light. So
it's one of these things that when people first started to say, hey, we've got a light, would you like to review it? I'm like, yeah, bring a light. Yeah, I'm a YouTuber. Yeah, bring me a light. And now I've got so many freaking lights sitting over there. It's crazy.
I did the same just then,
they come in handy for doing what I do because it's always out in the dark. And if I want to if you go and watch some of the videos that I put a bit of effort into, how I do it pretty much for all of them recently, putting like a light under a tree behind me or under a wall just to get some light behind me, where I never used to do that. And it was just black. It was just my ugly head on the freaking screen. And now it just works well with all those lights. So now I get people say, "Hey, would you like to review our lights?" And I'm like, "Tell me about your light. It does this." I said, "That's the same as every other bloody light that's out there." No. Mind you, Ulanzi, I was scrolling through Facebook and Ulanzi came up on the feed, and it has these wands. Have you seen
big
those?
wands? They look great. I've got these small ones, but one that's like that long without the break. Oh, it's magic, man! They've got this little clip here, and you just screw in.
Oh, right.
So they just screw in and
because you see, I don't know if you can see. Let me just change how this screen's laid out a little bit.
Saw your lights. They look good. What are they? Strips.
One. Oh no, I'm all backwards again.
Have you shoulder?
The one that's behind the motorbike over here, and the one that's behind the ISS over there. That's exactly what you just showed me. But one of them is actually it dies within a minute or two. So one of them is plugged in at the moment. It just stays plugged in. Yeah.
They have this little this collar, and you have to remove the collar off one of the ends.
Right.
See that? So you remove the collar, which is also goes over the mount, and then it creates.
Yeah, right. So I saw these things come up in my newsfeed on Facebook, and I was like, because I always wanted to do a light painting video with Reflex, with so you can see it, because it's very similar. Because I've done it with that aeroplane that I went out and did a corporate job. One of my clients up at Deniliquin, and while I was waiting there was a celebrity that I was photographing. But they landed. She went to do a talk, and then we all just waited at like 10 o'clock at night in Deniliquin at this time of year. I was freezing my ass off.
Would have been lots to do as well.
There was nothing to do. We did some cool photos of the plane. I'll see if I can, because I've already loaded it up on his website. So, I loaded one of them on the website, and it's a pretty cool photo. It's almost an astro photo of this plane. I should have thought about this beforehand. Can I share my screen? New computer. Haven't got the permissions to share this freaking screen. Doesn't matter. I'll show you next time. But it's on wetandhaulsairservices.com. If you have a look at the photo there, it's a shit hot photo. It's there's another photo that I'll end up putting on there where it's full on galactic core photo with this airplane in the front. It's very cool. But I thought, it doesn't quite fit the website. And when I went up to see them last week or the week before, I was showing them all these different photos. Like, we want that on there. It's like, why not? That's how I roll. So what I was talking about with those lights, I was telling you something about this. I can't think of what it was. Rabbit hole. See, I saw these wands, and I thought I wanted to do a light painting thing with the Reflex app, and with that aeroplane that I was going to show you, I did some light painting with that while I was waiting for this chick to come back. Just to light, I wasn't like a pattern or anything. I just had the tripod camera set up. Shot the plane and then went around and like hit a little bit of light there, went and had a look. I need a bit more over here, went and put a bit more light over there, and it was very cool. And now I don't know if you've done much with Olympus. They have it's Olympus systems are by far the best in the world for light painting. They're just amazing. They've got this thing called live composition. You basically put the camera there, hit the shutter button, and it's like the very first camera that had computational photography. Some of the light painting photos that I've done, you set the camera up and I'd go and spin a ball of light, and then I'd come back and have a look at it and go, that one's shit. So I'll stop it, start it again, go and spin the ball. Hey, that's cool. Now, there's one that I did in front of a church in town. So I spun the ball, went and had a look. That's right. Then I got the a strobe, like a flash,
Yep.
and just popped, had a look, popped, had a look, popped, had a look, and just built the photo. Very, very cool thing to do. And Reflex does that. I think the Huawei does it as well, I reckon, with its long exposure modes that it has. I can't remember what it's called, but it gives you a preview as you're doing it. And I did that with an airplane. I thought that what would be a cool video is to get a nice light, a broad light, to do around and behind vehicles and trees and that sort of stuff with Astro involved in it as well.
Yeah, nice. Well, we did I don't know if you can see this. Let me just focus in. So we did a car shoot with a couple of
That's on Instagram,
cars.
isn't it?
Yeah, it is. No, I've gone the wrong way. Hang on. Get off. Oh, come back. Oh, it's not going to work, is it? But yeah, with just put the lights together.
Very cool.
And it gives you. Well, this was a cool one though. Where are we? So this one was a ton of different lights at different angles that we just sunk together afterwards. But it gives this really cool, like splintered light effect.
I like that.
So they're good.
There's actually, if you can believe, you know where I live. You used to live down this way.
Yeah.
Would you believe someone in my hometown has a Tesla now?
Wow, it's arrived.
It's like we're in the middle of nowhere, and she's like full on committed to it. And hats off to her, mate. That's her daily driving car.
Wow, there wouldn't be a charging station for 100 k's.
There is one in town now.
Yeah. They put one in for her. Oh, good on them.
I think it was in there before. But anyway, she's got a Tesla, and I said to her when she first got it, because she now and then when I talk on podcasts and stuff, I say, there's besides my wife, there's one person in town who understands what I do with YouTube, and that's her. And when she first bought the Tesla, I said, well, we've got to do a video with this damn thing, because all the big YouTubers have got Teslas.
Exactly. Just do it. You jump it out of the car. Don't tell anyone it's not yours.
Well, the secret's out now. Just forget I said anything.
Yeah.
But I might even do that light painting thing with that car. That might be interesting.
Oh, they're so good. We've done a couple. Because they're just beautiful cars.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so I contacted who did I talk to at Coral at New Landsea, and I said, hey, I saw these things on my Facebook feed. Can you send me a couple? And she came back and said, oh, I think they're out of stock. Oh, no worries, no big deal. And which is the case with New Landsea. And yesterday I called into the post office to get some batteries or something, and there's a parcel there for me. There's 2 of these freaking wands in there. So we're not out of stock at all. So I'll give that a good test in the next week or so, because I think in my head, the way I used to do light painting with these Olympus cameras, you should be able to do it, replicate it with the Reflex app. So that'll be quite cool as well. Here's what I like about the Reflex guys. They care enough about what people, that when they say they're going to send some lenses. Absolutely. Oh, they're good guys. You can't deny that they're good guys. You've dealt with them directly, have you, Ralph?
Yeah. Talk with Josh and stuff. Like, they're just great guys, great human beings. And I love that it's such a small setup that they're like, we want to take it to the big ones, and we're going to offer something quality, and we're going to get to know our users and really care. It's really good.
I really like that when all the way since I've been involved with them, they say, oh, can we send you this? Can you have a play with this? And when I give them feedback, it's not that I'm the be all and end all of anything. I don't think that for a second. It's when I say, I'd like it to be able to do this, and within time, like a certain amount of time, they go, there it is, it's done. They've sent me the tests of the RAW, to shoot RAW.
I've been sent that too. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's there's still the similar sort of hurdles to get over that everyone else that shoots long exposure RAW gets with the iPhones, but it's early days, and they'll keep on testing it until it's right, and then they'll release it. It's called a voiceover. Now, I don't know when that was said, so I'm just trying to think back in that conversation that we've had. I reckon he's talking about doing my live stream in the dark. I reckon that's what that is.
Oh, yeah.
This is like a fun quiz game when you come on this show.
It is. What do we
What
say?
is that comment about? Told you. Oh, congratulations. P40 Pro Plus. I didn't get the Plus. I got the Pro. It's a bloody good camera in that phone. It was about the voiceover. There you go. Yes.
Nice.
About the live streaming.
Point to you. Yeah, point to you.
Yeah. But it's point to me. So Patrika he had a P30, I reckon, P30 Pro, and he takes some gun photos. He's actually been on the show too. The P40 Pro, the one that I've been using, if it did all the Google stuff, I wouldn't give a shit if it was Android or not. If it did all that, I'd be a happy man, and I'd be using that phone every day. We'd be using the iPhone. The camera system in that is just amazing. It's better, in my opinion, than the S22 and 21s and stuff. Just through the settings alone, like the long exposure stuff that you can do with it, and then when you go into the Pro mode, like Pro mode on S22. I think it jumps from 20 seconds to 30 seconds. There's no in betweens.
Yeah.
Whereas on the Huawei's, it's every 5 seconds. I think it could be.
That's good.
Yep. And the ISO goes to 6400. I reckon. It's just for what I do. It's a gun camera. And what Patrika takes, the sort of photos that he takes and puts over there on his Instagram page, is nothing. Very rarely is it nighttime stuff. But you can see in the quality of the photos these days, it's a bloody good camera. Yeah. Very, very good. Looking forward to seeing what he does with it. Ron Duval, this guy, absolute bloody legend when it comes to Astro stuff, mate. The only downside about that bloke is he's got corgis. Like, who has corgis?
I think that's the first time I've ever heard that sentence ever. That's hilarious.
That's why we're here.
Oh gosh!
It's like you have a look on that on the Facebook group, and the photos that he's pushing out with. He's got an S22 now. The Astro stuff that he does, it's freaking amazing. Very, very impressive. It was. I didn't get mine until later in the piece because we got them in Australia after everyone else. It was like they came on a slow ship or something. And I was watching what he was putting on the Facebook group. I'm like, bloody hell, where's this freaking camera? I want to get this thing out there. We are royalties with the corgis.
That's what
do you wave like this?
I feel it'd be less drama than the Royals.
Yeah, well, hey, what does your brother do? He doesn't go to some island somewhere very often, does he? P40 Pro Plus is the original S. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Well, I don't know if it's the original. I think it's better. Anyway, what were we talking about before we went down that rabbit hole?
Reflex, I think.
Reflex.
Yeah, was it Reflex?
Any more to add to Reflex? Or shall we move on?
Yeah, let's move on. Yeah, I like Reflex.
Action cameras.
Yes.
You've been doing a fair bit with action cameras. I think your channel kind of goes everywhere with photography.
Yes.
Would that be?
It does.
You should change the name
I think
of your YouTube channel.
Everywhere with photography. Maybe. Because I go everywhere with photography. That's the problem. I can't limit myself to so I'll do a bit of a spiel with the phones and stuff, and then I'll go action cameras, and then I'll go back to Nikon, and it dawned on me that action cameras are used specifically just for action videography, but there's so much more they can do that pushes you into this creative space of like, all right, so I have a camera, because a lot of people go, oh, I'm only as good as the camera, and it's bull, right? Mm-hmm. You're like, no, the camera's a tool, and your creativity enables you to adapt the settings and the capacity of the camera to do what you want it to do. And so out of that, it's like, can you shoot Astro with an action camera? Like, no one ever would buy it to do that, but can you? And yeah, you can. And can you pan with it? And can you do creative time lapses? I've got this really cool. I tell you what, this is a premiere announcement on your channel, but everybody don't tell or do it. Don't tell anyone. But I was watching Tenet. You know that movie Tenet? Have you seen that? It's
What's it about?
it's basically everything in reverse. So all these shows, all the scenes are somebody moving forward and talking, but everything's in reverse. And it's kind of like a time travel thing, but it's not really.
Oh,
But I had this thought, it would be so epic. So where I live is Burley Hill, and you walk up Burley Hill, and as you walk up, you get this amazing view over the ocean where the
yep,
sun rises. And I
yep.
thought, it'd be sick to do a time lapse where you film the sun coming up and then walk backwards slowly down the hill in time lapse mode on an action cam and get in your
Yeah.
car, but then play it forward. So the idea is that the end video you watch is you watch me getting out the car and walking up the hill, but everything is in reverse
Yep.
except the seat you're sitting in, and then you get to the top and the sun goes down, and you're left going, what's going wrong? Like what's
Oh, I
going
like
on?
that.
And because
That's
of the
cool.
stabilization on the GoPros,
Yep.
yeah, I thought that should be a fairly easy, because when you walk, you're bouncing around. So if you've got good
Yeah.
stabilization, which the GoPros do, yeah. But there's just
I
never
like
been
that.
never been a nice sunrise on the right day and time. And I'm trying to work out how you walk down one of the busiest hills in Burley backwards without tripping over
Well,
or killing someone. Yeah.
you'll need someone with you
Yeah, and
just to
the
walk
orange
behind you
vest
and
as well. That's
clear
right.
line.
Get out
Get
the
out of
way.
the
Get out the way.
way.
Yeah. So I'm going to convince somebody else to get up at 4:30 in the morning. So yeah, it's a
Well,
work in
it's the
progress.
Gold Coast, mate. It's full of crazy people. You'll
That's
find
true.
someone to do it for you.
That's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Tenet was awesome. There you go. Greg McMillan knows what you're talking about.
Oh, there you go. I was just, it was like, from the cinematography side of things, you're like, wow. All right.
That's a really good idea. Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
in the YouTube space. We're always talking about the hook that gets people because for those who aren't in the YouTube space, you can look at your analytics and you watch the watch time, and it always goes down. Like no one's ever goes up. It's impossible, because like you start the video with 100% of the viewers have watched the first little bit, and then immediately it drops down. Everyone's does, because they go, this guy's a wanker. I'm not going to watch him. I'm not interested. The thumbnail says I'm going to get rich, but really it's a cooking show of how to bake cakes. There's all that sort of stuff that gets involved in that little bit. And then you go along, and sometimes it goes up, and we all look for that little bit that goes up and go, what did people go back to watch? And I need to explain that better, or I need to do a better job of explaining that as I did there for everything else, so people keep on going back. And so that hook, though, is that first 30 seconds to get people to go, oh, that's cool.
Ooh,
and I've never been really good at that. But if you did that would be like the ultimate hook. People would absolutely watch that, and they go back, and they go back, and they go, what is that? Did he just do? Yeah. I'm going to try that now. I'm going to try it. I don't know if we can do it with the phone. The stabilization on the iPhone is pretty good.
Yeah, it's not too bad, is it?
Yeah,
because I was thinking what you'd need to do is your filming would need to start on a tripod because the sunrise would take time, right? And so then you'd need to then easily be able to pick up your tripod and carry it like it's not like get off the tripod, all right, and then move away. Yeah, and you need to walk down the center of the path, so you'd have people sort of walking here and dogs and surfboards.
See, I don't have that problem.
No, you'd have a cow or two that you'd
that's right.
get amongst.
Get away from the bloody thing. See, if you had that, if just with an Arca Swiss mount and just didn't tighten it up properly, you should be able to slide it out.
Yeah. Or even rest it on, because the camera's pretty, it'd be a pretty windless day. Just sit there.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I really like that idea.
So, but it's stuff like that. It's like, can we do a Star Trail with a action camera, or we talk about cameras underwater, but can we do? I thought this other idea of doing a time lapse where the camera sits and maybe it sits underwater, and as the tide goes down, the sun comes up. And so
you got to do that stuff.
A dome, and it's all these other things coming together. It's like the day I've got to be available, the sun's got to be bang on, it's got to be in the right position, the tide's got to be right, it's all these like but,
you can't have any of those e-shays going walking along stealing your shit.
Exactly, it does happen.
Is that what they're called, e-shays or eshays?
Oh no, I've not heard of that. What is it?
You haven't heard of that?
No.
You don't know what an eshay is?
No.
My son told me about it when I was up there last time. When they were down here, or when we were up there, I can't remember. And I'm like, what is that? And I see it everywhere now. I see it on like people people like doing comedy skits on them and stuff. It is, I don't know, say early teenagers to like mid-20 guys who have those stupid haircuts with like nothing on the side but a heap going on in the back.
There's
they wear
tons
like
of that.
tracksuits with like a bum bag over their shoulder under their arm.
I know who you're talking about.
You will have seen them. You will have seen them.
Yep.
They hunt in packs and look for a vulnerable person to beat up and take their lunch money. Those sorts of people. We don't have them here. Like they probably wouldn't last too long here.
They'd
stick
probably
out
end up
in a hole or something here. Who's that? He's not a local. You don't belong here.
Get out.
Yes. The channel, mate. How's life with your YouTube channel? Are you loving it still?
Yeah, I do love it. I've actually, a year ago when I hit 1,000, it's June 21, I think it was. I hit 1,000. I made a video of where I wanted to be in a year. So, which I've then scheduled. I haven't watched since, so I scheduled it. So it's coming out in about a month. So I'm really interested.
That's such a cool idea.
Yeah, I know that I talked about the beard in it, so that'll be pretty funny as we get to it in a bit. But I said to myself, I really hope in a year's time that I'm pretty sure I said like that you're loving it, that I do. Like it offers such a creative outlet that helps people. I think that's what I love about it. It's just and you get to make great mates and connect with people that you just never would have the opportunity to do otherwise.
And David Addison.
Yeah, and him.
Good guys, good mates, and David Addison.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's still in here or not, but
we'll see. You stir it up. He's sitting far up.
I haven't seen him comment for a bit, so I don't know if he's still in here or not.
He's probably like, these guys just prattle on. I'm just going to go. Just can't be bothered.
He loves it. He loves it. Well, it's so good that you're still enjoying it. I really like that idea of posting a video a year away.
Yeah,
that's very cool.
Yeah, and it's just me. It's funny. Like I think the production value is I just turned on the camera, turned on the light, and I had a coffee, and I'm like, I'll just chat.
That's cool.
And it'll be interesting to see what sort of response it gets from people, because I did it just for me. I'm like, like capture those moments in time where you have the emotion connected to it, because I just hit 1,000, and so now I'm like, what was that like? But back then it was a different feel. Yeah.
You should have premiered it. You should have set it up to premiere in 12 months.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I can still do that. Premiere in a month. Yeah.
now and then, the premiere thing, I use it occasionally, only so that it gets a little bit of excitement around it. Maybe that's in my head.
Find it makes any difference?
No,
me neither.
Dick all difference. Nothing. I think part of in my head the process around doing it as a premiere is, well, YouTube has this feature and it's there for a reason. Just do it now and then, see if it does anything. For those that don't play in the YouTube space, no one has actually written, like YouTube doesn't come out and say, do this and this will happen. It never happens. It doesn't work that way. It's like, these are best practices and most of them won't work. And then you've got all these other people going, I'm a YouTube expert and you need to use this, and this. And guess what? They won't work either. It might work for them, but it might not work for them. You got to find what works for you.
Over the last 2 years, I reckon it's been I think 2 years and 3 months. And I have, what is Ralph's channel? Oh, Ralph Mayhew photography is my channel. And I've been, I think I've tried everything. Like you watch these YouTubers and they do, and I think I've tried everything with one exception, and the one exception is niche down. And for my own creativity, I just can't do it. I mean, I could physically do it, but I think it would just kill me after a while because of the broad range of interest I have. But everything else, I might say you post 2 times a day, you make your stuff better, you change your thumbnails, and it goes on and on and on. And it's just, I think it's just enjoying it. If you don't enjoy it, then you'd never do YouTube. And people say, should I do YouTube? I'm like, if you like making videos, sure. But if you don't, that's the goal, to make great videos and enjoy it.
Yeah. What do you think you've got out of it?
creative expression, I've learned tons, learned so
Yeah.
much, because you learn before you make a video, and then when you make mistakes and say the wrong things, you learn from your commenters. We're like,
Yeah.
oh, don't know
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've learned heaps. Meeting people like yourself,
Yeah.
Danny, and
Yeah,
there's
for
a
sure.
squillion other people. Like, I love that.
Yeah.
Um, I think I think the challenge of, let's go out and make a video about this. Um,
Yep.
That's I am definitely going to put my next video that comes out in a year on Premiere.
I can just see Greg.
Just waiting. It's like 362 days to go. Um, um, yeah, yeah. And I think it causes you to think about things creatively. Like, if you have a camera and you like shooting sunsets, you go, I'm just going to go out and
Yep.
shoot sunsets. But if you have a channel that you're like, hang on, what creative things can I twist on this? It just
Mhm.
forces you to just think about the world differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm at that point right kind of now where I go, I'm known for the astrophotography with the phones,
Mm,
and that's great. And I can replicate that pretty well every time I go out if the conditions are right.
mm.
And you could come and find my channel tomorrow and watch almost any one of my videos and find how to do it.
Yep.
And now I'm at the point where I go, what do I need to do to change it up a little bit? Like
Mm.
to keep people like Mike Goyne and Greg McMillan entertained in what I do. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
there's only so many times I can go out there and go, 30 seconds, ISO 1600, set the focus and shoot for the stars. There's only so many
Yeah.
times you can say that. It's because it's going to be the same thing. So I think I'm probably going to need to start traveling a little bit, getting around and
Yeah.
going to different locations. The more the more story I throw into a video, I think that's more entertaining for the people watching it.
Yep.
I'm just gonna, if I do that sort of stuff, I'm gonna have to start putting in timestamps so people who don't want to hear me
Yes.
prattle on about a tractor that someone's grandfather used some point in the distant past. They don't need to hear that shit. They just want to see
Yeah.
how to shoot the photo.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
the thing I was only talking to Sarah about this, I don't know, maybe a week ago, that I'm the way that I deal with people now and the way that I respond to news is different now.
Yeah.
And what I mean is, before, if somebody did something, if somebody achieved something, or someone started their own business and they did X, Y, and Z, and they did it well, oh yeah, good on you. No worries, yeah, good on you.
Mm.
Now I see something happen because I've gone through now
Yeah.
2 years.
2 years. Yeah.
2 years of Greg was on actually 2 years ago, a few weeks ago. He was like the 2 year anniversary because he was the first guest that I had.
Yeah.
It's I've gone through 2 years of essentially what is helping people do what I do, as
Yep.
in the photos that I do. So I look at it that way. I'm not helping
Yep.
people to do what I do,
Yeah. Yep.
and so it's effectively 2 years of helping people. And
Yep.
now when I see something happen or I hear a story about something, I go, what can I do to help that?
Mm.
Like,
Yeah.
what can, like, because I've got a nice big audience of seemingly genuinely good people.
Yeah.
What can I do to like get that out there? That's like that Huntington's disease video that I
Yeah. I
did
love that.
a
So
week
good.
or two ago,
Week ago. Yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, and that was my neighbor going, "Hey, could you go and take some photos
Mm.
in town of these lights?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sweet." And in my head, I'm going, "I'm going to go one better than that. I'm going to see how much of this I can push out there
Yeah,
to
so good.
people." And I know that there are people in the community who have donated to that cause, and
Yep.
that's just through what I've created here. And I think that's
Yeah.
pretty bloody clever. Not
So
clever.
good.
I think it's very powerful
Yes. Yeah.
to be able to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Shane, I admire your tips. That's what I do, man. That's what I do. That's what I do. Yeah, that's the niche. That's the niche that I have. They I think that when I anytime I tell a story about YouTubing and finding success on this platform, it's that niche word always comes up 100% of the time. You got to find a niche. There's your niche. Make it smaller and smaller and smaller. And it's unusual to have a channel as old as mine is here. I don't even know how many bloody subscribers I've got. I don't know. Do you know?
54 maybe?
54?
I had a look the other day. It might be up to 70 now. I don't know.
I honestly don't know. I'm just looking it up as we sit here talking because I don't know. I've got 57,000. There you go.
Oh, there you
57,008. But
do you reckon
it's unusual
that's going to... Yeah, keep going, and I'll got a question for you in a second.
I think that the reason that it's grown as quickly as it has, it's not because thanks, Mike. It's not because I've got awesomely good content. I look at my videos, especially my older videos, I go, fuck, that's bloody terrible. But there's some really high ranking videos, and it's because I think it's because it's niched as hard as it is. Like, you can watch one of my videos today, and then tomorrow go and watch one that I did 6 months ago, and you're going to find a similar theme about it. And if you're into that theme, if you're into taking photos in low light photography, if you're into taking photos in low light and with a phone, well, you're going to enjoy what I do. So niching that hard. So if I did today, well, and it's also what I like taking photos of. I like taking photos of the stars at night. That's just what I enjoy doing. You enjoy taking photos of lots of different things with lots of different cameras, and that niche, and that's what you just said. Like, that's your passion. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
That if you niched harder, and I reckon you and I've discussed this, if you niche really hard, you would grow quicker. But I'm just lucky in that what I really enjoy taking photos of, what I'm passionate about taking photos of, is also my niche.
A niche.
So
I'm
lucky. So that's why.
Do you reckon you'll get to the stage where there's only so many people in the world that are keen for astro, like where your niche kind of runs out the potential audience?
Yeah. But but then you look at the other stuff, like the little bit that you would play on as well. Like, I absolutely play up the Aussie stuff when I'm on when I'm out there doing stuff. I was showing Sarah last night. I was showing her the video that Skillshare video, and some of the stuff that I say in there, I don't say on a regular sort of basis. I say it occasionally, like some of the Australian slang, just to throw it in there. And I certainly turned that up a bit. And I remember on the very first video that I did with the iPhone 11 Pro with astrophotography, and I remember talking about the postie bike, and I said in there it wouldn't suck the skin off a custard, and the comments are all through there about sucking the skin off the custard. But it's just something that you would say. It's not something that you say all the time, but it's something that we would certainly say. And people, and I play up to that now. So I think now, like, I look through the list of people who are watching this video right now, and I go, I know Ron watches my stuff, Patrica, Greg, Mike. I know all those guys watch this stuff, and there's a heap of the guys out there, because you see the commenting on the videos. You've got your regular sort of viewers who are watching this stuff, and I think now, I think now I'm at the point where they watch it to see what you can do with this, and there's an element of it where they watch it to see what has he come up with now that I can try and replicate. But now with those guys, I think there's a bigger part of it that they go, hey, what's Shane doing now? Not so much what's his bloke with a camera doing. It's what's Shane doing now. And I think they watch it a bit for that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Sure you do. Of course you do.
You do. Absolutely.
I don't think this is a guy. I've never spoken to him about this before. I think he's an incredibly talented photographer. He's got that podcast that goes on, and he's always got something different to talk about with the podcast. You already do, like what you'll say here. You admire us for doing this. You do it yourself, mate. You just don't recognize that you're doing it. It's a little bit. We're lucky in that YouTube is such an incredible analytical tool. Like the analytics that are in YouTube are just, I've never seen anything like it. It's the best I've ever seen ever. And I've done a lot with back-end systems and CRM systems and stuff. And this is the best I've ever seen. It's to be able to just click on a few things. It's very intuitive to say, hey, that didn't work. Or this is a good word for that. This is a good keyword for that. This is how good my video is doing when I did this. It's very, very clever. Like, we have those sorts of tools to go, I'm going to do astrophotography and I'm going to put a cat on a pole. Well, that's just not going to bloody work. But I know that's not going to work. Whereas I could have tried something with an animal before and it didn't go very well. It was really hard to do and it didn't perform very well on the channel. So my analytics will tell me that. Whereas you, as a podcaster, you don't necessarily see that. But you still come up with the same ideas for your podcast as what we come up with for YouTube. You do the same stuff, mate. Yeah, absolutely. You think we watch it for the content? God, I hope not. We are both from Australia. So I'm in a little town called Kahuna, Cohuna, or as locals like to call it, Kiuna. That's how you can tell if someone's local or not. Like when I'm talking to someone from out of town, it's Kahuna, because you'd look on a map and you go, oh, that's Kahuna. Where if you're talking with someone who's from town, but you're away, you're somewhere else. Yeah, I'm on my way back to Kiuna. That's it. That's just how we talk. So that's where I am. It's like north central Victoria in Australia, and Ralph's from the Gold Coast.
Gold Coast, so East Coast, about halfway up the East Coast of Australia.
Yeah. Bloody oath, mate. Bloody oath, you learn a bit of Aussie.
It's a duck's nuts. Get into it.
Remind me when we close the live, Ralph. I'll tell you what he's talking about there.
All right,
I can't say it here. And I know right now he's pissed himself laughing. I just watch. I haven't commented. Damn it!
It's good that
it helps me.
It's funny that there's a number of people. I reckon there's a ton of subscribers I have who love it, watch it, but you never know. You just you don't get to connect. And for me, part of it, the comments, you actually get to know people, and I love that. And if they never comment, you just don't even know they exist, because you don't know who your subscribers are, because some people stay hidden and all the rest of it. So, gosh, it's good when people comment. Doesn't matter what it is. It's just like, oh, awesome. Let's connect.
Yep. But I went through a phase. I probably need to do another behind the scenes video, because a lot of stuff has changed in here, and I've now got a row of hats along the top of my window over there. So they change often enough. When I was up there last time, when you got sick, and I had to go and do stuff without you. But I found a few hat shops up there, and so I just bought up big time. So when I first started the channel, because I always wear hats, always wearing a hat. If I'm working on the farm, it's like a broad brim hat, but everywhere else I'm wearing a baseball cap, pretty much everywhere. And
I'm the same.
Apparently, it makes you bald. Who knew?
Well, or it makes you unbald. I need a haircut, and my haircut's gonna be shaving it all off anyway. So
that's right. You'll end up looking like me. But I would change the hats up because it would get me comments. I'd wear a Cardinals cap, and people, St. Louis. And I'm like, what? Oh, the hat. So it all helps. all those little things that you throw in there, it all helps. Absolutely. Making you blush. Why are we making you blush? We're playing this game again. Oh, it's because we see he's a good photographer. It's just what we say, Ralph. It's just what we say. Don't take it to heart, Greg. It's just we're just trying to keep the content up.
Oh, you've just undone all your hard work, man.
I want you to go as far as you can, and if my time and attention helps get you there. Excellent.
What a champion. Legend.
Thanks, mate. That's good.
It's the people that make the content, right? Like, it really brings it.
Yeah. Storming up to flat brim hats. Kind of gangster. You mean like your hat?
Maybe. Kiuna is not really gangster land, is it? It's not a great deal of gangster presence there.
No. Most people will wear a hat like a trucker's cap.
Yeah,
with like the mesh and stuff around the back. it was funny, because I wear like the Red Sox hat that I wear most of the time. It's like a little bit shorter than these.
Oh yeah.
And it's just, I like that. I like that sort of hat. These ones here are a little bit taller, and
I like a tall hat.
It makes my big head even bigger. But I also like the hats that are fitted, so they're not adjustable at all.
Yeah.
So it's actually really hard to find the regular
right
sort of baseball cap that's not an adjustable one. It's actually a pain in the ass to find. All those shops that I went to over Brisbane and the Gold Coast, they're like, oh no, I've got one up there. I'll have it. I've got one up. I'll have that one too. Yeah, that's how it was. I was explaining to you before, and I'll explain to everyone else before we talk about your face.
Beautiful face.
So I get sent. Historically, I've been sent a fair bit of stuff that I'll have a play with. More often than not, it's something that I will actually put onto the channel and do a review on it or put it into a tutorial. I've got a few things on the shelf over there which I'll probably never ever show you guys because they're just shit. And there's no point me saying to you, hey, you go and get this just because I'm going to get a commission on it, because soon enough you're not going to believe me. So that all just sits over there. And I've probably explained to you guys before that if somebody sends me something and it is a dog's breakfast, well, I'm going to go back to them and say, this doesn't work the way you said it's going to work. And unless you can offer me a solution as to what I'm trying to do here, it's not going to be on the channel. But now I've become somewhat more selective on what I bring to the channel. And in almost every video that I have my phone sitting on a tripod, one of the most common questions I get asked about gear is, what tripod are you using? And I often use the Ulanzi tripods, like little flexi legged ones.
Yeah, I've got one the same.
And it's a ripper tripod. It's fantastic for phone stuff, but they don't make the bloody things anymore. Ulanzi seem to will make one and we'll run, say, a production run of 1,000, and once they're gone, well, then we'll make a new one. Well, it doesn't help for people like myself or Ralph who go, this is a really good tripod. You guys should get one of these. And you might watch it a year later and go, yeah, it's great. Oh, they don't make them anymore. So we're not helping anyone.
Can't find it. No.
Yes. So I actually, after talking with Danny Black, and for those Danny's been on this show before, he does pretty much
tech reviews,
exclusively reviews, right?
Yeah, anything that's tech, he reviews.
Yeah. And he was talking about some of the companies. What's that, mate?
A lot of camera stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely a lot of action camera stuff and web camera stuff. And he mentioned that he used to reach out to some, and now they just go to him, and that's great. It's a good position to be in, and I get both of those. I guess I get some people who just contact me and say, hey, I've got one of them, and if I think that the community will like it, then I'll probably put it on the channel. But one company that I reached out to and said, hey, would you like to do something with me because I like their gear, was a company called Explorer Photo Video. And because they make gun tripods, and they actually come back and said, oh, we'd like you to review this. This is it's like aircraft grade aluminium. It's a MagSafe tripod mount. So it's Arca Swiss. Yep. And where's my phone? I've got too many phones. I'm like, there's a Pixel, there's a Samsung. Where's the iPhone? And that just on the back there. Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
So that's quite clever. And I said, well, if we do that, and I gave him my rates and stuff, and I said, I'm actually looking for a tripod because my Manfrotto, which is in the car, it's at least 12 years old, and it's been all over the world with me, and it's definitely showing its age. So I said, I'm keen on a new tripod. And they basically said, just go and select one from that range, and you guys will see that in a video soon enough. But I said, if you're going to send me that, send me the tripod that will actually match that, because I think I'll show you. That's the tripod, but it's like the same metal, it'll actually look quite nice together. I'll show you more about that tripod in a video when I do it. But I said only like half of my viewership would have an iPhone, so you better send me a proper clamp as well for all the other phones I do. So they've sent me their flat pack one as well, which
that looks cool.
it's very cool, and it's also Arca
nice.
Swiss, so the base
great.
goes straight into the tripod, which is really quite cool.
Mm.
So you'll see them soon enough in a video. I'll start filming that. I've used both, and they work perfectly fine. And the other thing, I don't know, have you seen one? I didn't actually speak to you about this before, Ralph. Have I shown you one of these? Have you seen these before? Yeah, I'll get some light onto that.
Oh no, what is that?
It's a gimbal.
What? For your phone?
It's a gimbal for your phone. And it's a gimbal, and it's a power bank. So you can wireless charge your phone. Just put
Who makes that?
Power Vision.
Oh, yeah, light can't see it, but yeah. Oh, cool.
You can't see that?
Oh, wow. You're this small on my screen, so yeah.
Oh,
right.
You bigger. I'm thinking I need to increase the.
Oh, here we go. I can actually make you massive on my screen. Oh, that's way better. I should have done that like an hour ago.
Maybe I'll do that. There you go.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Oh, that's Power Vision. Look at
that. So this here, it's teeny tiny. I'll do a video on this, but it opens open. It does. It really does open easily. I'm just doing it backwards, and it's just so there's the gimbal inside here that opens up. Close that back. That'll come up.
Look at that.
Turn around, and your phone just sits on there.
You turn on, it's good to go.
There's there's all your buttons and your joystick and everything
else.
Cool.
Yeah,
it's and they sent me an email saying, "Hey, would you like to review this gimbal?" And I'm like, I've never bloody heard of it. So what I do when I haven't heard of something, what do? You go to YouTube and you look for it.
Yeah.
And some of the really big YouTubers have actually reviewed this thing.
Yeah.
Because I use the DJI.
Mobile.
Which one?
The mobile.
The mobile one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're back. I use the DJI one, and it's a great gimbal.
I'm the same.
And when this is like a third of the size of that, so
wow.
I've been using it a bit. It works pretty well. It does all the auto tracking and everything. So
nice.
It could well be something pretty good. I found a couple of negatives with it, which I'll talk about in the video. But it looks like it's a pretty bloody good gimbal. So you'll see those coming up anyway.
Sweet.
What else we want to talk about? Your face.
My face.
So what I was saying before about when I see something, what's happened with my channel is that when I see something I think I can help, I'm going to ask, can I help? And can we do this? And I said, then I saw something that you were doing. Was it on Facebook or was it YouTube?
It was YouTube. It was built up on Facebook and then released on YouTube.
Yep. Actually, you know what? I think you're the only person. Let me think. Ooh. I'm pretty sure you're the only person I've met just through YouTube who's actually my friend on Facebook.
Wow. That's classy status
I
right
talk
there.
to most of these guys through, like Greg McMillan, I talk to often enough, like we video chat occasionally and we text each other often enough. When I went through, there's two people that helped me through because their opinion matters to me. Do you remember I had someone who was doing some stuff that I didn't feel comfortable with? You were someone that I asked for that I didn't go specifically to ask you for your advice, but we certainly talked about it, and I took your advice on it, and Greg was the other one. And between the two of you, I've come with a solution, and they're no longer there.
Great.
So, yeah. So, why did I go to that rabbit hole?
Anyway.
So I found... because that's what I do on this show. So I saw you would explain what you're doing. I saw it on one of your platforms anyway, and I thought we can help out with your cause.
Thanks, man. So a couple of years ago, I decided not to shave, and that has developed into this luscious, iconic. It's funny. I watched some of my really early videos, and I'm clean shaven.
Yeah.
But it's funny. The vid sort of it's become an icon in itself. Like people chat about it all the time. But I enjoy it, but I've never been attached to it. And part of my get up, my gear thing is like how how can I use my life and things in my life and the resources I have to make a difference for other people like yourself, right? So, so YouTube offers a great platform for that. And so, it got to the point when I'm like, I think I should cut the beard off, and I should ask people if they would like to donate to a cause. Now, in Australia, we have this thing. I don't know if it's wider than this around the world. Maybe our audience today could fill me in, but it's called Shave for a Cure with the Leukemia Foundation. And I'm sure it's like when people get cancer. I know a ton of people that have died of leukemia, but that's not just why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because it's just one of these horrendous diseases, and it's the more we can pour into research and the more we can pour into supporting family who are going through chemo or needing accommodation or having to travel from rural places to the city for treatment and all that sort of stuff. Like, yeah, if I can make a dent in that, that's amazing. And it costs all of us very little. But enables us. I think ultimately you just want people to look beyond help. You want to help people look beyond themselves. Like, I need help looking beyond myself to the needs. And so I set the date of the 22nd of June to shave it off. I'm going to go into a barber. We were talking before about potentially, a guy in Burley, so I might go to him and see how that goes, and film it and stuff. And in a lot of my videos leading up to that point, and what's funny is I batch record. And there'll be videos that come out after I've shaved and we look like this. That'll be funny for a month or so.
You can't just change your hat between videos, mate. You got to grow it.
Right, yeah. I remember Nick Page did a funny Zoom thing with some other guys, and he put he's got a big beard like this, and he put a face pick on where it was clean shaven, and it just looked hilarious. You're just laughing the whole way. That's what I need to do, like a Zoom. A special effect, and so it's the shave day is the day after the 1 year video comes out, and I know in the 1 year video it's like you better have a beard and it better be awesome in a year's time, and so, so there's this kind of, it's just a bit fun of how that links together. Yeah.
That's awesome. So how can we help you?
Well, there's basically, it's what would be really good is there's a video on my channel. It was the last one I released, so not one, actually two videos ago. That's just the thumbnail's just me, and I think it's called Making a Massive Difference. If you can watch that video, it'll create more circulation for that video, which will be really helpful for people hearing about it. But ultimately, if you're able to either share that if you think it's a great idea, or sponsor any amount. My goal's 3,000. I'm a few days in.
Time for a Massive Change. Is that the one?
Yeah, that's the one. Yep, that's the one.
That's where I found it, because it looks like I've watched that video.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll just put a link to it here.
Yeah, perfect. It's only a short video, but yeah, it kind of captures everything I've just said. But yeah, it just creates there it is, perfect. Yeah, it's one of these things it's like you use your platform and your influence and skills and stuff and your story to go, let's make a difference for other people. And I love that about the creativity of photography, that we can offer something, whether it's in video or photography, that's really quite unique and often really expensive for people to access. But in the right scenario, the right people, you're like, let me do this for you or bless you with it. And it can make a huge difference. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Bloody legend. The it's probably too early for him, but you guys might remember a few live streams ago, I was telling you the story about this newly found family that I didn't know about. And my nephew he lives up just around the corner from Ralph, and they don't know each other. They've never met each other, or you might have met each other. You just don't know about it.
Well, yeah, just don't know about it. That'd be great.
Yeah, but it's only 7:20 in the morning here, so he's probably not even up and alive yet. So he's actually a barber in Burley who could shave your face.
So amazing.
So if we could get that to happen, and then
gosh,
no, that's Sarah telling. I thought I just got a message, but no, that's Sarah telling me. Oh, anyway, I've got all these messages coming through. Sarah's sending me her Wordle, because we send each other's our Wordle results every day. And Jesse also just sent me a message.
Hey.
He's sending someone in. Am I busy barber in Burley Stocklands? Do you know where that is?
Oh, is that the one? Is he on at the moment? Is that the one near Boost Juice?
He just sent me a text. I better send him. I better tell him to get on the live stream.
Yeah, I ask if it's someone next to Boost Juice because my son's going in there this afternoon for a bit of a.
Is that right?
He wants a mullet. He's 5 years old. He wants a mullet, and his mother, Lyndall, she's like, on no circumstance. I'm like, he needs a mullet. Come on, if he wants a mullet, let's give him a mullet. So I think he's going to go with a mohawk, split the difference.
You know, if I'm a firm believer that any parent who lets their child get a mullet is tantamount to child abuse.
Guilty.
Well, look,
gosh.
it's kind of like, that Johnny Cash song, "The Boy Named Sue." It's the same principle.
Yeah.
Give the kid a mullet. He's going to learn to fight because people are going to want to beat him up.
It's so funny up here. There's mullets everywhere, and it just reminds you of AFL football players. It's just like, oh, you should be in the AFL.
AFL, for those who aren't from here, AFL is Australian Football League. Is it successful? Yeah. I'm not an AFL fan at all, but it's one of these sports. So I grew up watching rugby league, and in the army, I tried to play rugby union. I was just freaking useless. I was the guy that when another unit's team came to play and they didn't have enough players, they put me on their team. That's how good I was. Yeah. And I remember actually, my battalion, we played 812 Medium Regiment, which is an artillery unit just next to us, and they didn't like front up with enough players, so they sent me to play on their team, and it was a home game for us. My whole battalion's on the side of the football field watching this. We had like APCs up with like machine guns firing and stuff. Like, it was a big to do, and these guys didn't turn up with enough players, so they put me out in the wing, and I was useless at playing this freaking thing. I was useless at it, so I was just there making up the numbers. But I was running along, and they passed me the ball, and there's literally no one in front of me. My whole battalion's on the side watching me. The try line's right there. I had to put it down. I scored against my own battalion.
Oh, wow.
Like, and I just like put it down and ran the other way. I'm like, I'm not going near those boys. They'll be throwing shit at me as I run back down. Yeah. So I was never I played rugby league when I was younger. So I grew up watching rugby league, and moving down here, down to Victoria, there's no one watching rugby league. It's all AFL. And I remember when we first moved down here, people were like, "Oh, who do you follow?" And I'm like, "Follow where?" Well, following the footy. But follow them where? Who's your team? Oh, I don't really have one. Leper.
What is wrong with you?
He doesn't watch AFL. So you go to a like friend's place for a barbecue, and you can see, like, even when we have people around here who aren't like so Sarah's got a heap of, she goes horse riding with like a group of people, and I'm not into horses at all. My interactions with horses is when she's not home, I might throw some hay over the fence, but that's it. I have no other interest in horses at all. And I'd rather hop on my bike and go for a ride on my bike and go for like a 3-hour ride. And when I come back, they'll still be getting their horses ready.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, what's going on?
Yeah. So they, anyway, I don't know, end of last year, I think it might have been. That was just before Christmas. I don't know when it was. Anyway, they all came around here one time, and we had a little bit of a fire pit out the back, and we all sat around drinking and cooking and that sort of stuff. And I always feel like I don't quite fit into most conversations with the blokes because it always ends up being about the footy. And with those guys, it's about the footy or it's about horses. Which is fine. I'm totally fine with it. It's not like it's uncomfortable or anything. It's just like, yeah, I don't know who that is that you're talking about. I remember when we first moved out, it's at the point where it's almost fanatical about how much people are into it. Like they talk about people, like, can you think of an AFL footballer right now? Any?
Oh, geez. I probably should be able to, but not really.
No, I can't think of anything. No, I can't. That's how much I'm into it. All I know about AFL is what I see on the news occasionally when some
they have cocaine and go smash someone.
Exactly. a Richmond player did cocaine, an Essendon player just raped a young girl, and such and such just did this, and such. I don't really.
Yeah.
You want me to follow that shit?
Yeah.
I can't think of any of them. Warwick Kappa, that's an old one. That's from when I was a kid.
Oh, gee, yeah, wow, yeah.
But people would talk about, say, oh, see, Warwick did this on the weekend. Oh, do you know him? No, we just watched the game. Oh, but you talk about him like he's your brother. And that's just how people talk. It's such a bizarre thing.
It is.
But while we're even talking about AFL.
Well, haircuts. Your cousin, your nephew. Yeah.
That's how this live stream goes, isn't it? I was hoping he'd come back into the live stream.
It's Busy Barber, is it? Is that what it is?
Busy Barber, yeah. But those haircuts that you see in the AFL with all the side short and the back bit longer, that's that Eshe thing. That's the sort of haircut.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, right. Yep.
Yeah. It's a shame. Oh, so what I'm going to do, mate, I'm going to. So you're doing that. It's not even a month away, is it?
No, it's 20 something days. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I reckon we'll be able to do it. If you can, do you reckon you'd be able to find? Because it'd be awesome if it was live.
Yeah.
Have you other YouTubers up there that you deal with?
Not really. Danny would be the closest. No. There's not many on the Goldie. Yeah, he is. A lot of them, got a mate, Rory, who's just got out of it, actually. He's taking a break.
Hold on. You can live stream your own self.
Could do it on the phone.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Who wants to see that? Who would go and watch Ralph live stream shaving his beard off? Potentially with my newfound nephew shaving it off for him.
Come on.
That'd be gold. Yes. I think I'm hoping we can get that to work. That would be very cool.
All right. I'll have to do a test with
I was the Charlie Brown of that's exactly what I was. Hold on. What do we miss here? Some of the best friends I've met in person, the members in the moment. Love you all. Oh, that's a bit that's all my mushy moment. I guess that's a bit mushy, Greg. He'd watch it.
Come on.
That's cool. So go and watch that video that I put here of Ralph's before. That's in the comments, and I'll actually pin that as a comment on this video.
Awesome.
Head over there, watch that video. I dare say you've got a link in that to contribute. Yep. And help out if you can. I know that I only asked you guys to help something out like a week ago, but they're all good causes. I'm not asking you to support. Let's make saddles for wombats. I'm not asking for some stupid shit. This is a decent cause. Why don't you saddle for wombats?
Oh, here we go.
There's a market for that. I reckon I'm onto something there. Who'd ride a wombat?
My boy, I reckon Hamish should be getting that. He'd be stoked.
Right now, everyone who's watching is going, what the hell is a wombat?
It's a wombat. It's like a drop bear. Just Google drop bear and find
it. Do you actually tell people that when they come out from other countries?
Totally. Yeah, absolutely.
I remember
you have to be really straight-faced about it.
Oh, absolutely. We used to get, I think it was like the 1st Infantry Battalion or the big red one, I think it was, Americans in Hawaii. So they've got an infantry unit in Hawaii, and we used to do exchange with them. So our Charlie company went over to Hawaii for it might have been a month or 3 months. I can't remember. It was a long time ago. And they brought a company of theirs to Australia. And so in the mornings, when I was in the army, you get up, you go for your morning routine would be like, get up, go to the front of your building. If you were living in the barracks, go to the front of your building. They do the roll call. You go to parade. You jump on parade. Like you'd be in your PT gear, like shirts and T-shirt, ready to go for a run. Shorts and T-shirt, I should say. And you do a quick bit of drill. And he's on here now, he just said. So we'll talk about he's watching the live stream now, my nephew.
Nice.
And we wouldn't say anything. Like you'd hear one person calling out orders and and that'd be it. Like there'd be a little bit of drill, like marching and stuff, and off you'd go for your run. The Americans, though, man, they get into that shit. They, the whole you see on the movies, go hoo-ah, and all this. They do that.
Yeah. Wow.
And I remember that they G'd us up. Our company sergeant major G'd us up that when they would say hoo-ah, we would go we are. So they'd be on their parade ground. Go, who are we? Go we are. And they run around like in their ranks or their columns or whatever you'd call it. When you we would call it files. So you all line up behind each other in 3 files, and you'd be going for a run. And that'd be for us. That'd be it. We'd just go for a run. You wouldn't say anything. You wouldn't sing any friggin' songs and shit. You'd just go for a run because it was about for getting fit. These blokes, just like on the movies, they do all that shit. It's crazy funny. And they carry a flag. There's a flag at the front.
Oh,
it's
wow.
like, we know who you are. You're not Aussies. Like you stick out like dog's balls on a budgie, mate. We know who you are. There you go. Dog's balls on a budgie. I'm going to put that in the video.
That's a good one. Stick that on.
But Jesse, if you're in here, this is Ralph. Say hello, Ralph.
Hey,
hello,
Jesse.
Ralph.
Hey, Jesse.
And Ralph lives in Burleigh, and all that shit that's on his face, he's going to get that shaved off in like less than a month. And it's for a cause. It's like shave
for a cure.
What? Shave for a cure. I'm thinking shave for that. That's not what's called. Shave for a cure. And if we can G it up, that you could possibly shave his face on that day. So anyway, I've told him where you are, and I might actually swap phone numbers and stuff for you boys to catch up. And we'll see if we can get it to happen. That would be mint to
be awesome.
To join that up. Why are you getting rid of the beard, bloke? Spirit of sport. The way that is said, I'm almost going to say that's possibly him. I'm not sure though. It is him. I'm the barber, by the way. When I saw bloke, I thought, I reckon that could be Jesse. It is Jesse. Yes.
To raise some funds for people with leukemia.
Yeah. So if we do it, Jesse, it'll end up being probably live streamed from your barbershop. So it could be cool. I'm excited to see this. Cool. It could be cool. And like not so that you feel nervous or anything, Jesse, but I'm pretty sure he's the only one that's actually watching this from Australia. So you'd go into a worldwide audience. Yes. No pressure.
International.
No pressure. Yes. Anyway, I'll get you guys in touch, and that would be cool.
Very cool.
Have you missed much? We're about to finish the show.
You've missed all the good stuff.
You missed all of it. Our boss would never pay for that coverage. Yeah, no one's asking you to pay for it.
Don't pay for it.
Yeah. And I don't think it's going to be like an advertising thing for you, because I don't think like Greg McMillan's going to come from Canada to get his haircut in your barbershop in Burleigh on the Goldie. So I don't think it's going to work that way. It's just going to be somewhere to get it done. Anyway,
I'm happy to pay for it too.
Happy to pay for it. We'll be talking, Jesse. All right. Are you finished, mate? You got anything else you want to say?
I think I'm done. That was good. Good chat.
Yep.
Good to hang out with everyone.
Awesome. Thanks everyone for joining into the show this morning, and we'll see you all in 2 weeks. I've got to get in contact with Ron Duval. I'm not sure if he's still in here. Old mate with corgis, because I was going to bring him on the show a while ago because his photography is on point. But he's a gun photographer, but he was a little bit shy. So we've been doing it for long enough now. Hopefully he's...
Come on, Ron, get into it. It's easy. You just sit here and laugh.
That's right. And if I start talking about stuff that just doesn't make sense to the content, just stay quiet for a while.
Just let him go.
Because then I look at it and go, he doesn't know what I'm talking about. I better get back on track.
Yeah.
That's how I roll. All right, guys. Good to see you here. And I'll see you all in 2 weeks. Catch you then. All right.
See you guys.